The standard way of thinking about milestones in life has it that they must be completed in a timely order, thus creating a strong foundation for the rest of your life. In other words, one must have a plan or a blueprint to build that foundation. As a young adult, you go to college, you get a career that allows you to stop borrowing money from mom and dad. You hopefully fall madly in love one day, get married, buy a house, have little clones to carry out your legacy one day or not. But what happens when this so-called blueprint for life was not followed? How strong is my foundation? Here's the plan by age 30. I must become a college graduate, establish myself in a rewarding career, be financially stable, own my own home, buy my dream car, fall madly in love, and finally get married and have kids and live happily ever after. A sunny day in May of 2010, I victoriously obtained my associate's degree. My gleam was slightly dimmed by the fact that I was technically not a college graduate. Hey, at the very least, I'm officially an undergraduate, so I get some credit. At this point, I also had 2 kids, aged 13 and 4, to carry on my legacy one day. Parenthood came without much consideration, and so did getting a job. My entry-level receptionist job, paying slightly above minimum wage, was not a rewarding career, but it did in fact help me accomplish 2 other very important goals. It was a dark and stormy December night in 2012. What, literally, it was. I was handed a set of keys belonging to my very first home. I'm a first-time home buyer, I screamed inside my head, over and over with excitement. Wait a second, I own this place. That means that I don't need anyone's permission to paint the walls any color I choose or take down that ugly popcorn ceiling. Or permission to rip out those ugly old wooden closet doors and replace them with nice, shiny, mirror sliding doors. And a dishwasher. No dishwasher. Who lives without a dishwasher? New furniture is a most definite need as well as curtains, area rugs, and garden materials for my new yard. Where did I get money for all these improvements? My answer was credit. My little 2004 Honda Civic still ran like a well-oiled machine at 200,000 miles. One morning, though, in April 2013, on my way to work, I reluctantly sat in the driver's seat of my Honda Civic as it was stopped dead in traffic on a side street. In the blink of an eye, I was suddenly propelled forward, hitting the steering wheel with my head as my Honda was smashed into from behind by a truck who had failed to stop. My Honda was a total loss according to the insurance company. A short time later, I received a substantial check from the insurance. My eyes grew wide, and my mind started ticking. Pre-owned 2011 black Mercedes-Benz GLK. Of course it was not entirely paid for, in full like my Honda, but I had a good down payment, and I simply financed the rest. With my good credit. Soon enough, the time came when I would open my mailbox and find countless envelopes addressed to me. I knew without any doubts they were all bills. My email and voicemail also became flooded with messages and that payments were due. For a time being, I survived paying the mortgage, the car payment, the property taxes, and the outrageous homeowner's dues, the minimum payments on each of the 5 credit cards that I maxed out. I started to drown in all the stress of debt. Life grew dark. I reached out for more credit. Payday loans were my lifeline this time. I was in over my head now. Frantically, I sought out a second job and even looked for other possible avenues in paying down my debt in order to be free again. Losing my precious milestone that I had worked so hard for was devastating. My priorities regarding credit were in line with my wants, and they should have been in line with my needs. It cost me big time. I cried my eyes out on the 4th of July in 2016 when I sold my condominium just prior to a pending foreclosure with the bank. I cried because I would instantly give back everything I had foolishly ran up on debt. If only I could have my home back. A large amount of equity was gained in the time that I did own the place. A bittersweet emotion invaded my mind while I paid off all of my debt and kept a little nest egg for the future. I was finally released from being locked down in debt. The course I follow now was once traveled before, but this time I know where the cracks are that would hinder my foundation and how to avoid them using my blueprint. Aside from everything, I think it's also worth mentioning that at some point in the story, I did fall madly in love and got married, but that's a whole nother story in itself.